So this is the oil tank. That's the water tank for the intercoolers. That's the water pump for the intercoolers, and then the battery was always there. And in front of that
water pump looks like a E90 water pump.
It's a Bosch. It's from a 335.
I was about to say. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now we stopped at Emotion Engineering, guys, and this is as soon as you pull up, man. This is. So if you guys don't know, this is an actual. Originally, this is a 991 Turbo S, I believe, and Emotion Engineering did a full GT3 Cup conversion body on it. So it looks like a GT3 Cup car, which you guys know the actual GT3 or GT3 Cup car is NA, it is not turbo, but basically they put that body on a Turbo S chassis, which is crazy. So this is, you know, twin turbo. They have to do a lot of modifications to make this work, but it came out sick. And look at the, you see the intercoolers. Yeah, so it's bananas that they were able to do a full conversion to this car from a 991 Turbo S to this Cup car here. So that's pretty badass, man. That's pretty badass. But let's head on inside. I think Joey's inside. I'm hoping Joey Seeley's inside so he could give us a quick tour again. But you know, last time I was here, I mean, you know, it was sick. You guys saw the video. He had some pretty cool projects in there. So let's see what he got in there.
It's a little bit quiet at the moment,
which is perfect.
Yeah, it's a good Friday afternoon.
Oh, this is the heaven right here. The white walls and white floors, man.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not what I was expecting to see. Oh, that monster.
Oh, so other background. he has to take it in. I've been here, so I already kind of you know, I already soiled myself one time. I can't do it again. But
yeah, but to go from a fucking YouTube video,
I know, to see it in person.
Demolish my ears 35 times.
Yeah. So Joey, another thing.
The burnt pipes out back.
So Joey, I got to ask you some questions too, because I actually, well, now I just purchased a 991 GT3, a .1. I literally saw the car before I hopped on the, like I bought the car, saw it, and then hopped on the plane. And I also have a 992 GTS on order with these guys. So I don't know if you have anything for that platform yet.
Oh, that's basically all we do. Is the 991 platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as the 992 to GTS, do you have anything?
That too.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, they didn't, as far as suspension and brakes, a lot of that didn't change.
Yeah.
So we have all the control arms for those cars.
Nice, nice. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. So.
Yeah, so there it is. You've seen it. Seen it on YouTube, I guess.
Your page when you guys first started it.
That sounds crazy. It's a 1,000 wheel horsepower.
What?
Yeah, 1,000 horsepower. I think it's like 14.
Oh, that's the one that you guys recently had on the dyno not too long ago, and you was doing the
the Pike Speed build.
Yes, the Pike Speed. Yes.
So we broke the qualifying record by I think 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds.
Oh my god.
We were gonna be the first production-based car to go sub 9 minutes.
Yeah.
But the weather was lousy. Nobody had any records that day.
Jeez.
But yeah, it was. It did everything we wanted it to do. You know, up with other major guns involved. That was a bummer, but yeah, this is. I'm proud of this one. This is basically pull out all the stops and do this.
You on the road.
Yeah. The fun part is we threw the intercoolers inside the car to move because they usually hang back here, like you know. So just move the weight inboard. It also shortened the intake track from the turbo to the throttle body by 21 inches.
Yep.
So that was part of the reason we were able to make such.
Trying to do like a way later version of the roof. The roof they side, roll to the back.
I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
that's
that.
Yeah, so this actually, because we cut into the body and turned the intake manifold around backwards, it was literally, instead of going all the way around and then it just was like, it just straight
Right
in. Yeah, you can see actually, you peek through, you see the turbo and it just straight up and in to the intercooler and then to the throttle body. So we actually got this to change the weight distribution by 10%. Move 10% of the weight forward. Wow. So, I mean, among other things too, we also did the oil tank.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, no
The
way.
oil tank is right there.
Dude.
It's a fucking race car, bro. He built a race car.
I'm like, I got a little muscle behind, no.
No, he built a full-blown race car.
Holy.
This was a GT3R, which it was 2,700 pounds.
Wow.
So we added quite a bit of stuff to it, but only managed to add another 100 pounds because we took a lot of nonsense out.
Because it comes with stuff that you use and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the oil tank. That's the water tank for the intercoolers. That's the water pump for the intercoolers, and then the battery was always there. And in front of that,
That water pump looks like a E90 water pump.
it's a Bosch. It's from a 335.
So you try, they know their stuff, man.
It's like a 335. I had it. We just welded on AN fittings onto it.
Yo.
It's a Bosch product, man. That's all it is. So
These guys know their stuff, man.
So that is only for moving the water through the intercoolers and then up to the heat exchanger up in the front of the car. You know what? I don't know. Shoot, I'm trying to remember now. I think it's like.
Crazy.
Yeah, because it's like normally it's what? Because this is a Metzger, it's not a 9A1.
So you could have like 7.5, complete motor rebuild, but if you're doing oil change, 7.5, 8 maximum.
Right, and I think it was oil change was like 12.
Yes, you're definitely older than about like 15.
Yeah, and then that also moved the oil tank from here to
the
there,
front, which is a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And you got the movable weight all.
Yeah, in the passenger seat area.
So how do you? It's just R&D to figure this stuff out. Just kind of just going with the idea and just.
This is just like when I don't sleep. This is what I'm doing.
This is all of years of experience of like, what the fuck do I build now?
Yeah, and actually, like, I spent months really just staring at this car going, what would I do? What would I do?
Mad scientist.
And then
man.
some of it is previous experience.
Yeah.
Because that actually is the first turbo cup car. So it took a little bit from what I learned there and improved on it for this one.
Being up at 3 o'clock in the morning, what made you want to pull the trigger?
Oh, I've never not wanted to do this.
Okay.
It just, when the right people got involved and said, let's do this.
The right movements,
Yeah. Some clients said, let's go.
Here we go.
And look where we at now. Wow, Joey. I was hoping your G body was here.
It is. It's out back.
Oh,
no
yeah?
engine. No engine right now.
Oh,
Building it right now.
Yeah.
oh, you're rebuilding it? What's going on?
It always smoked a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I was okay with, and then when it sat for a really long time, it got real bad.
Yeah.
And then when I went to the track at the like both the last times I went to the track, like 5 laps in on a big high rev D-cell, it would just billow. So I was like, fuck, I gotta go in and check the rings, and sure enough it was the rings, but the engine builder was like, hey man, this is because the ring landings are wrong. Like the thickness of the material and all that isn't quite right for an air-cooled car. This is a 991 GT3.
Right.
But it's going to be a rally car.
Oh, nice.
So full roll cage. We got rid of the GT3 uprights because that's for lowered ride height.
Has someone done that before? A rally GT 991 GT3?
Over in Europe they do some stuff.
Really?
Usually with cup cars. This
Wow.
I started with a street car. So we went to Carrera S uprights and subframes and all that. 5 lug. So now we can fit an 18-inch wheel.
Right.
So we got the rallycross wheel, either a tarmac rally tire or this full beefy off-road.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare to get to fit. But that white one is for this car. This is a Turbo S Safari build.
No way. What?
So we're doing it for this one, but he might want that tire.
So my question is, to do a safari build, especially on a Turbo S platform like this, what has to be I mean, suspension of course, but what other dramatic changes would you have to make on this car to make it a safari build? Is it almost like you have to kind of just strip this car down and then like almost rebuild it in a sense, or?
It depends. I mean, a lot of people have already done it.
No, it's a Turbo S.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's
people could
safari build.
You could build it.
Why not?
The way most people do for the internet, and it just make it look the part, but that's not how we do it.
Yeah, because you want to make
I want it functional.
Yeah, exactly.
So both of these cars will have full Kevlar under panels, but at the engine and at the nose of the car, it'll be aluminum skid plates. Because we rally a 997.2 GT3 Cup, and I've seen what damage happens. Yeah. I mean, we've managed to get through a season and a half with that car, but I see now, you know, more.
Yeah.
So like the nose actually needs quite a bit of protection. So you can see this on the ground here is the big skid plate.
Oh,
for this
yeah.
You know, and the big legs, the rally lights. Because I don't like the hood pod. I hate it because it's so played out.
Oh my god, that thing is crazy.
We're switching to a center radiator in the trunk like the GT3R, and that will keep it, you know, out of. It won't be vulnerable.
Oh, I didn't even realize you did the.
You
you cut out the bumpers.
You did the radiator.
Yeah.
So there's your hood light pod,
hood light pod.
Those are actually from anti-racing. Those are the endurance lights from the
that looks stylish though. I actually like that more.
And then, you know, he stuffs it into a ditch or something. He's not going to knock out the radiator. You know, he's good to go. And that will also look pretty aggressive. You know, all shrouded in everything. We did Carrera suspension. This one we got rid of the E-diff and we did a mechanical diff. Yeah. I'll put a turning brake, you know, handbrake, hydraulic handbrake in this. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We took the wing off and put a Touring wing and deck lid on it. We're going to run the intake into the car. Because the back of the car, you know, it just tumbles a bunch of dust. So we're actually going to go through the quarter glass like we did for the other car.
Filter here or the same thing filter back?
We'll do, actually the air box will be where it belongs. So here it is. So Touring air box, but I 3D printed these little snorkels and I'll connect the hoses into the car and then to the window. So.
You're doing the old, like the old school. Like the old race cars.
Yeah, so that'll be nice and clean. We're actually going to change the cage and we're going to cut this diagonal out so I can put a spare tire in there. And then we're going to make the rear window a hatchback, so you can pop the window open and get your tire out.
What's the problem?
This is virtually the same thing except for all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of doing that radiator conversion on this one. It'll stay all-wheel drive, it'll get the skid plates, it'll get the lights. But this one's going to maintain a full interior.
So he wants to be able to have fun with it.
Yeah, he wants to drive it wherever he wants.
He wants to stay to the dinner, but he wants to go to the desert after dinner.
Exactly. And that's what he lives in the desert out in Vegas.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this one will maintain air conditioning, but that's, and this one obviously won't. Special here for some custom seat mounts because the guy's 6'10".
That's why I got the
probably
seats.
the sixth car I've done for him over the years, just so he can sit lower and be more comfortable. But we'll do springs and exhaust on that.
Since you're already here.
Yeah. That GT3R right now is getting that same hood and radiator conversion because that's a kit. Actually, most of it is right there.
Oh wow. Okay, that's what I was wanting to see.
We're almost done with the development.
So you sell it well eventually, or you sell it as a full kit now, or eventually?
Yeah, I eventually will. So I'm right now this is going to be the first car to get it. Okay. Make sure it's all good, and then the next one I do is where I'll start to slow down and take photos of the install, so you have instructions.
Yeah, exactly.
because that's going to be a fun one. Because it really, I mean, it's very functional for track, or, you know, again, we're in Southern California where everyone wants to.
Yeah, I'm in North New Jersey, so it's about 3 months and then call it a day.
Yeah, it's a very narrow window.
Yeah.
But everyone, you know, everyone wants to look a little different and have.
That's
have
what it is.
their
All these
personal
guys
car.
got the same car, but it becomes a bespoke game.
Yeah, yeah.
Who has this? What difference? Does
Yeah,
it make?
so what 991 guy doesn't want a GT3R hood? And then we make the mirrors too. The mirrors that we have on that, we make those 935 and RSR style mirrors, which are all functional. Believe it or not, because those redirect the air back to the quarter panel, where the air inlet is. And that's why that hood outlet goes up over the roof to keep it away from going into the engine. So then you see that they've swapped that on the new GT3 RS. They move the air to the side,
and then they put the little fins up.
and they put the fins up top to get it clean, cool air to the engine.
That's neat. They finally, started paying attention. Okay, that might just be suspension. We kind of got to do the car a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the suspension thing locked down pretty solid, and the horsepower, they can't really make more than they are now.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a 4.2. They haven't really released it yet, because I know the new R is a 4.2. I believe so.
I think the RS is still a 4.
A 4, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely.
But there's only so much, so they went after Aero.
They went up there. I told everybody, I was like, listen, 992 came out. They did switch in suspension. We did a bunch of aerodynamic stuff on there. I was like, the next step is just going full blown. Aerodynamics.
Yeah, and active Aero, which is pretty wild. Crazy. I don't love the suspension tuning from the dash. I mean,
I hate it. I don't like it.
A lot of people. I mean, it's cool.
It's cool. It's
really
a nice
cool.
feature.
I just feel my numbers are no longer a secret. Once I tune one of those, they'll just scroll through the dash.
Oh, look, okay.
Here, everybody.
Yeah.
So that, but other than that, it's awesome to be able to tune the diff. I mean, it's above and beyond what most people know how to do.
Yes.
So a lot of cars will be a mess.
I tell a lot of people this. I was like, hey, you're gonna have 3 different types of people. The guy that buys it, he's gonna put it in the softest mode. He's gonna drive in the city. The guy that buys it and sits in the garage, or the guy that buys it and actually knows how to use it, gets trained to use it, and leaves the car where it's supposed to be.
Right. You already got these comments.
Yeah, but I just said that the hood and radiator conversions.
Oh yeah, right.
GT3R.
Right.
Yeah, that's the first street car that we're doing, and Diego and I are working on it at the same time. So I moved the staircase over.
I know you have like full packages for the 991 GT3s. For someone like me, who's I highly doubt I'm going to see any track really. For just for street driving and just to have, is there any kind of package you would recommend for me to upgrade to that I would enjoy?
Oh yeah, we always tailor it. We always tailor it to the individual. Sure, you see a couple of race cars here, but I gave up on racing for the most part a long time ago.
Right.
I like to do, I would say they're 50-50 that go to the track or just street. I like taking street cars and making it to where it's a bunch more fun for you, no matter what you're doing with it.
Right.
Yeah, so and the funny thing is everyone likes to build track setups. I say that quote because it's not a track setup.
Right.
What a track alignment, I don't want one of those race cars. It's like a race car setup, all that means is it's a tailored setup.
Right.
It's tailored to the driver with the components on the car for that track and the conditions that day.
Yeah.
So really, that it just means tailoring. So I can tailor a setup for you and what you're going to use the car for with all these components, but it's got to stay compliant and comfortable and fun, responsive, give you a lot of confidence. That's what our goal is. Because a really stiff race car doesn't make sense unless you have all the right components and the right tires and the driving ability. Like if you look at a pro car now with high-speed cameras, when they put them in slow motion, you see how much they take these huge compressions and it transfers weight. So that's actually a perfect explanation of your car or anybody's car is you're not going as fast as them, so let's slow it down and watch it in slow-mo, and you see the car moving. You want your car to move. You don't want it to be driving around because it's not working.
A lot of the truck
You want to control it with the shock.
Exactly. Shock.
With the damper to where it's that thing, honestly, on the first test, Reese came back, he goes, we have no proof, but I guarantee I'm lifting the front tires. Because we were so compliant and making so much grip and so much power, it was doing a little bit of a wheelie. On corner exit, which to a point, because I want as much power delivered to the ground as possible, but then you also want it to turn. So I gave him as much as possible, and then we started to dial you know, transition the weight forward and keep the nose down, because even at Pike's Peak, you know, during tests, he's like 3rd and 4th gear, I'm picking up an understeer because it's just thrust. You know, so we started to dial in rake and dial in more spring rate. And, you know, we really needed more aero, but I ran out of time and budget. You know, that's
the other
thing too.
But I always tell people, like, yo, listen, you can build a car with all the power you want, especially with these cars. I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine until you 3rd and 4th.
Those are the money gears. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's all we do is canyon cars, mountain cars. You know, that's what we really like to do. That car is probably 2 to 3 times less spring rate than original.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
So way more compliant, because well, the mountain's bumpy.
Super.
You know, and you want it to communicate. You want it to talk back. You don't want it to be a razor blade because you're on the edge of a mountain. You know, so. And cold temperatures. So you add, I've learned more at Pike's Peak than I did in all my years of pro racing, to where it can be applied to the regular Joe.
In one place, but that one place has many different surfaces, atmospheres, and different scenarios.
Just like the street. So it's like, I want it this way. No, you really don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to you about that as far as putting that 991 together.
Yeah, I mean, that's a majority of what we do is 991, GT3, and RS, and 2RS. Yeah. So we've got all kinds of. I like to tailor it, but we had to do packages for easy digestion, like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. You know, but really our biggest seller for street guys is stage 3. So it's, you know, get all the adjustability and solid bushings in the front, and then the rear add a, you know, one of the bushings solid, and it's not overdoing it, changing the spring rates, and then you're ready to rock.
And you can feel the huge difference between stock.
Huge. We just did stage 3 for RS Future and for their 991 GT3 build for time attack. They just did stage 3 and they picked up 2.5 seconds. What? At Big Willow, which is that's more of a horsepower place. He's like, I can't believe it. I'm like,
so,
yeah, man.
I got to ask you a personal opinion. 991 GT3 or 992 GT3, if you had the choice?
Oh, I'd still do 991.
Really?
Oh yeah, I like that because it's the underdog now, right?
Yeah.
And people are calling me all the time. They're like, "Can you make my 991 GT3 as fast as the 992?" I'm like, "Absolutely." It's all I've ever done. It's just,
Did you see how you chuckle?
It's just suspension.
I got an air-cooled car that keeps up with 997 GT3s. I love it.
Right. And I've seen it. Trust me. And when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it makes sense."
I'll wait.
We got to show me your car.
Yeah.
We got to show me your car. That's the. How do you feel about the 992 GTS?
I like all of them. I think those are great vehicles. Like really.
Yeah.
Sure, we don't get locked out. Well, I just said everything. It doesn't rain here, so everything gets filthy.
Help you with other stuff. Look at the cage and stuff. Come on. That's bananas.
Yeah, this one you can see like
See how
the rocker.
it runs all with the check.
964 composite rocker. The Aero. Yeah, it's composite.
Wait till he tells you how much it weighs.
The rear quarter and the rear window is actually 993, so the metal trim is gone. It's a roof.
Did you even see the cage?
Just give me a second.
It's a replica of the roof, Yellowbird front and rear bumpers.
Yep.
But see, I cut.
Yeah, you did this. I saw
some pressure relief. The front is actually
how big was
the wind is closing the door.
How big was the difference when you did the cut out the bottom?
Oh, it wasn't measurable for me.
Okay, yeah.
It's still lacking rear Aero, you know. So
that's the big thing with these cars, man.
but we took the yellow bird front bumper, and I cut the bottom out, kind of like remember the 997 GT2?
Yeah.
Went all the way to the
Yep,
splitter.
yep.
So I did that, and that's actually a modified 996 GT3 splitter. Composite hood. Closed off the sunroof. It's got a heated windshield.
Heated windshield.
Yeah, like the Land Rovers.
Yeah, Land Rovers and Subarus.
Yeah, you can see that the filaments in there,
Yep.
the weave. Everything's gone out of the inside
It's
except
the cage for me, man.
the cage.
Car.
Look at I mean, the whole car, yes, but
The carbon
did
Kevlar.
you tell me how much it weighs? Because that's what
Oh
blew me away.
yeah. Well, this also takes it holds 21 quarts of oil.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. So when you add power to these shits, so the way to let them live, you add more.
Okay, so stay cool.
It'll go from 9 or 10 quarts to 12 quarts, and he said 21.
So it's got the 935 oil tank up front here, so it moved way off the back of the car, moved it all the way to the front.
Yep.
Little light blocks, battery, fuel cell, and actually the oil cooler's right here, but it comes into the trunk and then back out into the fenders.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to see.
Because dumping it under the car, I'm sure you've put the front mount oil coolers, and dumping them under the car is really bad for lift. All the plumbing, that XRP stuff is ultra lightweight. KW competition 3-ways.
Run through the.
This thing's a little monster.
When I saw.
Love
Oh
it.
man.
When you build something, you kind of know, it's a little car, it's fine. Car's 30 years younger.
Yeah, you see the no metal trim.
Metal
in there.
trim in anywhere.
But it's so engine, transmission back in it, everything with all the with a 5 gallons of fuel and 21 quarts of oil, it weighs 2,300 pounds.
No. I saw
2,300 pounds.
I probably used those as a kid, man. So.
Even the taillight buckets are composite
Wow.
because they have those casted.
Yeah, the casted metal or
Whatever the heck it is.
Crap.
Yeah, it'll outrun in a straight line on 3.8 RS.
All day long.
From 997 3.8
Yeah.
RS.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
could spar on track for quite a while. I've surprised actually some 991 GT3s on track. Like for 4 laps, they're like, "What the hell? Like, what were you doing?"
Yeah, I told you, man. I
I
told
was
you.
looking at it, but I'm like,
It
Dude,
even
you have
has a little bit of a headliner up
yeah,
there.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, look at the dash and everything. Like, it's amazing. This is sick.
Rope gauges, love it.
I mean, I get why you. I mean, I guess at some point you get to a point where you feel like, all right, you ready to maybe move on to something else. Is that what it is? Or-
It's we're mostly modern stuff now,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's time for somebody else to enjoy it. Like, cause I don't drive it.
That's what I was gonna say.
It sits
man.
here, obviously I'll drive it more when the engine's in, but it's like, there's nowhere to drive here.
No.
There is nowhere. You have to get up at ridiculous hours in the morning to go hit the canyons or the track, and that's it. And even on track, it's like, you don't know who you're gonna be on track with.
I love-
Yeah. You know what it is too, Joey. What I learned with my 993 and why. I mean, it was upsetting when I hear people that just store the cars, they don't drive them.
Yeah.
But now it's getting to a point where like the parts are almost irreplaceable,
Yeah.
or let alone just that nervousness of driving the car and something happens and somebody hits the car. It's like now I get why people are kind of just keeping them just in garages,
Well,
man.
The fenders, see the front fender. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys know the Carreras. The front and rear fenders are hand shaped.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if I get hit,
it's
done.
It's done.
You don't replace that fender.
No.
You got to find somebody that's good at metal shaping and give me some flair again.
That's what I'm saying. And I got it all the time. Oh, what would you sell the 993? What would you sell the 993? I was like, as much as I love the 993, it's almost one of those cars where because I drive it so much,
Yeah.
it keeps me up at night because I'm afraid of what could happen if somebody,
Yeah. Yeah, my ass is puckered every time I drive this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Especially like
sure.
in traffic here,
Yeah.
trying to get to somewhere fun. It's like
Nervous. It
if
just takes
somebody
one.
rear ends me in this,
Yeah.
because that's honestly to replace that motor. It's 100 horsepower per liter, so it's 360 horsepower out of a 3.6. That's
The car that weighs
2,300.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's a feather.
the electronics in that engine are $100,000.
And
like,
God forbid somebody,
if somebody just is on their phone,
So we have a
over.
I might go to jail because I'm
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
get
right.
out.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly. Every time I drove that car, as as fun as it was, this is a go-kart for the street, literally.
Yeah, yeah,
But just the fear of, and especially driving these now, they turn so much heads
yeah,
that like people want to pull out their phones or people are staring.
yeah.
And those are the ones that just end up rear-ending you or hitting you or whatever because, you know,
Yep.
they don't see these commonly often, especially when you're pushing it on a highway or something. And they're like, holy crap, like, it's a head turner, man.
Yeah, this thing's fun. We're rebuilding the deck lid.
Oh yeah, I remember you was gonna
It's
do
a
composite.
composite,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, last time I was here. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, so we're doing 2 of them.
You was doing that, and I think you was gonna do the, no, HUD is already composite, no?
It is, but I'm gonna do a new one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have another car in mind after this that you're gonna turn into, like, I guess your...
Probably a 991. I'd like a manual GT3. That's what I'd want.
It seems like that's the sweet spot for everybody. Like, everybody that I've asked about their personal opinion, they're like, 991 GT3.
Yeah. I mean, it's too expensive for a 997.
Right now, it's insane.
Yeah.
The numbers...
The 991, like, because it's mostly what I do, that's why I would like a 991.
It makes sense.
And I want, you know, I don't want an RS and I want a manual because, again, it's the underdog. I like to build the underdog to be faster than the big dogs.
Yeah.
It's always
Everybody
more
does
fun that way.
991 PK. I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's fast, but it's not as much enjoyment.
It's so white.
No.
I feel like I'm in heaven.
You are in heaven when you're in here.
There we go. We try like or Diego does. It's his, but it's I need one. I need one. We hand mop it.
Oh wow,
But
Joey, man.
It was like this. All of the white ceiling, the white walls, white floor was like this. Because this is, Jeff Zwart is my landlord. This is his place. So he only had his collection of cars in here and used it as a studio.
When a couple years when Larry did a video.
Yeah, yeah. And this is his old car.
Yep.
We still maintain his stuff. This isn't his anymore, but like his 997 Cup car for the Colorado Hill Climb Championship. We do it here, and we did the 935 for him for Pike's Peak here. We still do a lot of fun stuff with him.
Joey, I once again I have to thank you, man. No, because like even last time when I was here, you treated us like, you know, you opened the doors, and that was COVID. When I came here, that was like
that's right.
early
That's right.
COVID, right?
That's right. I
So,
remember.
you know, even still, man, just the fact that you like open your doors, and I mean, it's almost like when we were kids and we wanted to walk to the shop and look at the cars and gawk at the cars and like, no, you can't come in here.
Yeah.
But that's not the attitude I feel here.
I
you know?
was that kid too.
I know,
was that kid
man.
too, and I love to see the reactions from people because, you know, I'm stressed and tired, and
I know,
it becomes monotonous sometimes. But you know, and like this for us is a real mess.
Yeah.
We came in a bad time.
This is clean to us compared to the shops we see in New York. I can tell you that.
We're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of
Yeah.
it. But no, it's fun to share because we do this out of passion. We all do. So to share the passion is fun.
But like you said, it also reminds you how, like you said, when you see the reaction of others, especially guys like us that's from New York and we don't see this regularly, so we only see it online. But to come see it in person is like, I'm pretty sure from your end, because I know from my end, if it was me, it's just a sense of like appreciation and accomplishment, and it's just like people understand it, like they get it.
You say that you see the tow hook? Yeah, that's the air cooled style, right? Off of the back of the engine.
Dude.
This is 935. So.
Yeah, that was literally because we had in his trailer. Yeah. The way it kind of pulled up, it would always pull down, so we needed the lowest
possible thing we
yeah.
would pick up the next
because we backed it into his trailer.
Joey, I want to thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thanks for coming.
welcoming us. I know you was busy. I appreciate you taking your time out, you know, to especially these guys, because I kept emphasizing to them how amazing this was, and I was like, you guys don't understand until you come see it yourself. So I'm happy that they finally came and saw it themselves. But even, you know, people at home, you know, there's people that are just not fortunate enough to do this or even come out here. And thank you, man.
Yeah,
you
you're
really,
welcome.
for real.
Yeah, you're
So
welcome. I take a lot of pride in this and take a lot of pleasure in sharing it too. So it's
awesome,
cool.
man.
Cool.
Awesome. This is, you're making me excited to go back home to mine.
Look around and take a look at